Shalom. I want to start off by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and salutations to the hopeful elect who are continuing to fight and teach this thing of ours in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Manatazak with GMS Ancient of Days, Los Angeles, back with another lesson. And today, through the Spirit, I want to get into a lesson going into how this monetary system here in Babylon the Great, the FRNs, or the Federal Reserve Note, what we know today as the dollar, the quote-unquote almighty dollar, okay, is on a steady decline, okay? And basically what I want to do through the Spirit is get some scriptures going into how we shouldn't even be putting our faith in this money anyways, okay? Especially when you consider that it's not even backed by anything tangible, okay? Now, if you do your research, you'll find that the dollar used to go back to the gold standard, okay? And every bill represented basically a portion of something of intrinsic value, which is gold or silver. But now, it's not even worth the money that it's printed on, okay? And that's one of the main reasons why these nations are getting together, the BRICS nations, okay? You can Google that and look it up. That's why they're getting together and forming their own monetary system. Okay, something to rival the dollar, because what they're bringing into play with these other countries, especially that are heavily backed by foreign trade, is a monetary system that is backed by something that's substantial, something that's tangible. Okay, now we all know that this is eventually going to translate into a digital system, but this is just going to show the further devaluation of the dollar. Okay, because in the past, America would never let something challenge the almighty dollar, which is currently the leading source of basically trade around the world. The dollar is the standard, but it's losing its value. Okay, here in Babylon the Great, you look at the debt clock, and we're in the trillions now. Okay, so America as a whole is circling the drain. The dollar is circling the drain. And this is just a sign of a fallen kingdom. And Tawadi Yahweh Shem Yashai for that, because once Babylon the Great falls, Rome 2.0, okay, the Israelites are going to rise up and we're going to rule in righteousness forevermore, pursuant to the prophecies. So this is an exciting time for us in the Spirit, okay? Now, the times that are coming ahead, a time like never before, Jacob's trouble, that's not going to be easy. Okay, nobody said it is, but Yahweh Shem Shai is going to look after us in those times, because we're putting our faith in Him now and putting the work that needs to be done forward. Okay, so without further ado, I don't want to keep rambling on. We're going to begin in the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 7. And I don't intend for this lesson to be long, but Lord willing, it's edifying through the Spirit. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or Ecclesiastes, in the scriptures, Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 4. It says, the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. Now when you go to the word heart, the Hebrew word there is lab, which is mind. Okay, so reading it again with its correct understanding, it says, the mind of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the mind of fools is in the house of mirth. Okay, so your mind should be in mourning, so to speak. Why? Because we are in captivity. This is no place to thrive and prosper. Okay, we have no standing army. Okay, we have no king that's ruling in authority. Right? We're in captivity here. Lest you forgot, Jake. Hebrew Israelite 101 is coming to the understanding that we are under the subjection of our oppressors, of the heathens. This is not our rest. This is not our continuing city. But we do seek one to come. But there's a certain course of action that has to take place before that. And prophesying against these nations and proclaiming their downfall to their face is part of the prophecies that need to take place. Okay? Now, that's not to say that we're walking around with our head down all the time with a mum attitude. No, that's not what this is saying. Okay? Our mind is towards holy conversation. and building spiritually, turning back to the Lord and putting on the new man and casting out that old man, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our abilities. Because there's a lot of our Jakes whose mind is in the house of mirth. They've sold out to that almighty dollar. But these celebrities themselves will tell you that all the money in the world doesn't buy them happiness. Okay? Think about all the immoral things that they had to do to keep their status and to get that money. Okay, they are defiled. That's why a lot of them walk around with those silver reflected sunglasses where you can't even see their eyes. A lot of them don't even have mirrors in their houses. Hell, a lot of them are all bugged out. Look at Orlando Brown and Crip Mac and all these Raven Simone. Look at all these Macaulay Culkin. Okay, all these Disney stars. These child stars that grew up and were groomed in Hollywood, and even some of the actors themselves. That's why a lot of them are bugged out and acting out. Okay, because they've been used and abused, man, and they've been completely destroyed because they have sold out. And that is not the expected end Yahweh Shemashai has for his people. Okay? The riches that we are building are riches that are in heaven, and we are about to withdraw from that spiritual bank account soon come. Us doing this work in truth and sincerity. I'm going to read it again. Ecclesiastes 7:4 says, "The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth." Now I'm going to jump down to verse 12. It says, "For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it." So that's why it's important to have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, okay, of the scriptures. Because we'll know how to move in this thing. As the scripture said, true indeed, money is a defense. It helps us pay our bills, okay? It helps us get the things that we need. But Yahweh Shemashai is going to give us our daily bread, okay? Didn't he say that he takes care of the birds and he takes care of the worms? How much more so his chosen people? All right? Let me read it again. It says, "For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it." So it's better to have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding than money at the end of the day. Okay? What did Yahweh say? Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Okay? A lot of the faces on these dollars that we have were former slave owners. How is that for a slap in the face? That in order for us to buy and sell and trade, we have to use a monetary system with the face of our oppressors that had us in captivity. All right, let's get Philippians 4. Philippians 4, beginning at verse 12. Okay, Scripture says, "I know how to be abased, and I know how to abound." Okay, basically, I know how to be poor, and I know how to move like I got money. Right? It says, "Everywhere and in all things I am instructed, both to be full and to be hungry." So there's a balance in things. Okay? It says, "Both to abound and to suffer need." Why? Because as Job said, "Shall we not accept good from the Lord and also and not accept evil?" Basically, as the scriptures say, a false balance is an abomination. So you're not always going to be up in this truth, and you're not always going to be down. Okay, that's the roller coaster of the trials and tribulations we have to go through as members of the hopeful elect. There's sometimes where we're in a better case than another, and sometimes we're struggling a little bit. Okay, but the scripture says that he's never seen the elect begging for bread. If we're doing this work in truth and sincerity, the Lord is not going to leave us stranded and dry. Things may be challenging for a while, okay, but the Lord is not going to forget our plight here in Babylon the Great as long as we continue to keep our faith. And we have to move with wisdom, okay? especially for those of us that have problems saving money or sustaining a job. When we do get that money, okay, remember to put it aside for the things that need to be paid. Okay, it's just all a part of being responsible. Not to say that we all don't want nice things. Of course we do. But there's a balance to everything. All right? Verse 13, it says, I can do all things through Hamashiach, which strengthens me. Notwithstanding, ye have well done that ye did communicate with my affliction. Okay? So the Lord is with us every step of the way. Okay? And we're suffering all things for Hamashiach's sake. Right? Did not Yahushua say that surely we're going to drink of the cup? Well, that cup of chastisement comes in all forms. Okay? Money being a primary one, especially for us Jakes. Okay? Because when it comes to money, our people don't really know how to handle money like that. We don't have generational wealth. Okay? And when we do get a little money, we like to spend it on things that we like. Naturally. I mean, you know, Jake is fly. Jake likes to stunt. But Jake is also irresponsible. Alright? Let's see. Let's get Haggai. You know what? Yeah, let's get the book of Haggai through the Spirit. Haggai, the first chapter, beginning at verse 6. It says, Ye have sown much, and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm, and he that earneth wages to put it in a bag with holes. You see that? He that earneth wages is like putting it in a bag with holes. Meaning everything we get, it just disappears. And it doesn't help that things are being increased. Things are steadily increasing in price in these last days. Hyperinflation. Okay? And that's prophecy. But having that bag with holes, man, that's part of the curses, man. Okay? So if you're a Hebrew Israelite in this thing and you're sitting here rolling in the dough, rolling in millions, okay, that's a sign that something is off. Because you're not being afflicted. You're not poor. Okay, you're not hurting for wealth. You're getting along more than just fine. All right? And let that apply to who it applies to. You know? Verse 7, it says, Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Hashem of hosts, consider your ways. Okay? So, you know, let that apply to who it applies to. But the point I wanted is verse 9. It says, Ye look for much, and lo, it came to little. And when ye brought it home, I did blow upon it. Why? Saith the Lord, Yahweh Hashem of hosts, because of mine house that is waste, and ye run every man unto his own house. Okay, so for us doing this work in truth and sincerity, the Lord is going to visit us, man. Especially us that have money and expect to expound on it and build on it and use it to our own affairs. That's exactly what this scripture is talking about, and it reads a little easier in different translations. But what Haggai 1 and 9 is basically saying is, the Lord is basically saying, look, you got money and you brought it in, but I blew it away. It's like, why? Because you're building up your own houses while my house lays in ruin. That's completely out of order. We are not here in Babylon the Great to be comfortable. Okay? Not that we don't have nice things. There's some brothers that are set up nice. We all have different spirits. We all have different lots. But the primary thing is to keep the main thing, so to speak. Okay, we are sitting here to prophesy, to wake up the hopeful elect. We are not here to be comfortable and to build in Babylon. As the book of Baruch says, we are yet this day in our captivity. It makes no sense to build here when it's prophesied that Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed. The monetary system with it. And what good is all that money when it's going to go digital and eventually be put in a CHIP? Then what? Okay? So it's going to come a lot easier to us Jakes that don't have money and aren't used to having money to further decline the new system when it's made readily available. Okay? Let's get Let's get Habakkuk 2 and 6. Just to prove that point about the state of Babylon in its monetary system. Habakkuk 2, verse 6, it says, "Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increases that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay." That thick clay is talking about the heavy debt. Okay, the heavy debt of Babylon the Great. Okay, I mentioned the national debt clock. Okay, for the money that Babylon owes, it's in the trillions, and that's a clock that you can Google at this very second and see that it's constantly upticking. It's not going to stop. So eventually, it's going to reach the point where that proverbial bubble is going to burst, and then the crash is going to come. They just keep kicking the can down the road. Okay, by signing all these bills in the office to keep itself afloat. But eventually it's going to reach a point where it can't correct itself. And Lord willing, that time comes soon. Okay? Verse 7, "Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them?" Okay? "Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, and of the city, and of all that dwell therein." Okay, you can't tell me this isn't speaking about Babylon. Okay? You can't tell me this isn't speaking about Babylon. And just to prove, in Habakkuk 2 and 6, okay, that word clay is the Hebrew word abatyat, which is debt. Just to show you that word thick clay is going to heavy debt. All right? Let's see. Let's get our Proverbs 11 and 4. Proverbs verse 11 and 4. Which reads, "Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death." Okay? So no matter how much money you have stacked up or saved in your 401k, hidden under the mattress, okay, put away in a safe, it really doesn't matter. Riches profit not in the day of wrath. You can't buy your way into the kingdom. Okay? And the scriptures are plain and simple when it comes to money. Once again, as we read, yeah, money's a defense. Okay? But it's not going to save you. Alright? It's definitely not going to save you. Let's get Isaiah 13 and 17 just to prove that point. Okay? This is why it's beautiful to go precept upon precept. Because Isaiah 13 the headline reads, "Babylon will be punished." Okay, so Isaiah 13 and verse 17 reads, it says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them." Against who? Babylon. Who are the Medes? Modern day Russians. Okay, it says, "Which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it." Okay, so the Russians, they're already establishing at the forefront of the BRICS nations, bringing in this new monetary system to go directly against the FRNs of Babylon the Great. That in of itself is a declaration of war. Okay? They are not regarding the silver of Babylon. Right? Let's get we'll end it in Revelation 18, beginning at verse 11, because I believe the point has been made through the Spirit. But this is just going to bring it home, because Revelation the 18th chapter headlines Babylon falling, and we're entering into those times now. Okay, this is Revelations 18, beginning at verse 11. It says, "And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more, the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet, and all thine wood, and all manner of vessels of ivory, and all manner of vessels of precious wood, and of brass and iron and marble." Okay, Babylon the Great is basically a melting hub of imports. Okay, it imports everything from all across the world. We're not a heavily exported nation. Okay, we import things to the mainland. Okay, why? Because the Israelites are here, and we are a consumer nation. Even though we don't have much, what we do have, we spend and put into this system. Okay. Verse 13, and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. Okay? This is going into Babylon the Great. Everything I just named can be found here in abundance and then some. Okay? It says, and the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. It says, the merchants of these things, which were made rich by her, shall stand afar off from the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. You hear that? So when Babylon the Great is destroyed, these merchants are going to be weeping and wailing for the things that they can no longer purchase and make money after. They're not going to be weeping and wailing over the millions and millions of people that are going to be destroyed here in nuclear war. No, they're going to be weeping because they can no longer profit from Babylon the Great. All right? Verse 16, saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? Right? Because wasn't the rumor that Babylon the Great is the golden city with roads made of gold, the American dream? You can make it as long as you just try hard and work hard. Bullshit. Because if that was the case, the Israelites would be on top. As hard as we work, and as much as we worked, and for as long as we worked for free. Once again, that was the curses. But this is just going to show you the attitude of these other nations and these companies that try to profit off Babylon the Great and the Israelites living here. Alright? Verse 19, it says, and they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour she is made desolate. Okay? And that's just further highlighting that these other nations don't give a shit about us, man. Okay? And that's okay. Because when the Israelites are back on top, we're going to show them how to rule in righteousness. We're going to show them how we feel about them. Okay? But I just want to bring this out to show that, you know, these Israelites that are selling out for money, or for you jakes that have stopped this truth to pursue the bag, so to speak, you're doing it for naught. And you're ultimately going to be ashamed. But Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect. I want to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstones who rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect who are continuing to fight and teach this thing of ours in truth and sincerity. This has been your brother Manatazak. Until the next lesson, Shalom.